Muses. I really did not want to come on. I was coming up with excuses and delays and reasons about my face and my lack of a good background to show you, and the lack of deliberate, clear points to discuss with you. And I knew those were just excuses to delay just showing up, which meant I just had to show up anyway, because there's a lot to say, there's a lot to catch up on, but also because it was time. You know how you hit a point where hi Kat, how are you? Long time, missed your face. Yeah, you know when you know that you've hit a point that you have to either decide that the calling, the need inside you to create the greater, more wonderful, higher self, positive, lovely, amazing divineness of the things that is calling you, whether it is to sit in meditation, whether it is to make the cookies, whether it is to create the masterpiece, start a project, really get back into connection with yourself, with your creativity, with the things that bring joy into your life. It's time to choose whether that is going to be greater, or your excuses and your fears and your doubts is going to be greater. And so choosing courage over concern and comfort zones and stuff like that. And I think the only way to really recognize that is to be able to step back and practice it and really decide to be the kind of person that you want to be. And so I think I can't even remember what exactly I wrote for the title of this live, but the idea, and it was a lot of caps lock, I knew I was doing that because I was going to be just stopping myself from doing it. I was singing in here in the car for longer than 5 minutes, going, should I just drive off and then just do other stuff, because there's a whole bunch of stuff I need to do and I can only show it really quickly, and then my face is not anyway, all excuses. You know how you're so good at doing excuses? It's almost like a muscle, and you've been exercising that muscle for so long that it's a lot stronger than your other muscle of just showing up for your higher self. Yes, Kat, done is better than perfection. I always say choose progress over perfection, because perfection tends to end up in paralysis and being there, and you can dream about perfection. I still believe in living a life in pursuit of it, but pursuit is still a proactive action word. I don't know if it's an adverb or something, whatever it is. Yes, choosing courage over concern, because courage, and I keep telling my kid, because struggling a little about storms and thunderstorms because it's really loud and she gets a bit scared, and I was like, well, it's a good chance to practice courage and bravery, and you can't be brave if you're not scared. And we know that being brave is such a good thing, but I think as adults we forget that, because we are on top of stuff and we don't get scared, and we know, and we choose what we want to choose because I want to be comfortable, and this is what I want, this is what I desire. And it's yes, I want to just sit on my ass and eat chocolate and just binge watch Netflix. Yes, but then there's still a part of you that's still something's not right, something's still missing. It's still not as satisfying as when you're fully expressed and spent and have done all that you're supposed to do and created something and connected something that was greater than you. Right? Which is where the creative part of it comes in, that creative energy where you've used it more than just coming up with creative excuses not to do it. And you've actually used that creative energy to actually do the thing. And so stop waiting was repeated in the title. Yeah, basically telling myself, stop waiting. Why are you waiting? Because as I'm waiting, it's not going to get more perfect. It's going to be a better time because the light is losing it. And so I'm just making it, I'm basically painting myself into a corner so that, oh no, now I can't help it. And so I become a victim to my circumstances, and therefore I have an even better excuse. When really the other way, right? Besides decide, I've been really playing with these words. Decide who I want to be. And I'm what do I want to be? I want to be a leader. I want to be a muse. I want to be a creative. I want to feel like I am fully expressed and in this energy of flow and creativity and expression, because then I can give that permission to my children and to the people around me who love me, when I can tell them, hey, I am capable of holding space for you so that you can do that for yourself. And I do that by modeling that I am giving myself permission to do that, and that is a priority, and that it is something I value to really fully show up, right? And sometimes, even if it's just fully show up as I'm making kombucha. I was thinking of you, Kat, about making kombucha for the first time. I got access to a really, really healthy looking SCOBY. So yes, I was thinking of you, Kat. So that's probably why you're on. Anyway, but like being really intentional about it, and I could tell I was really using my creative energy to make that and to learn this new thing just for the sake of like playing with my creativity without it being like for my work, which is the hard part of being a professional artist who's like paid for my creative work. And I'm thinking about all these things because, hey, I am starting the live round of the 5-day Deliberate Doodles Challenge on Monday. And I was thinking, what do I need to say to the people who I'm calling into this group? Why do you want to come? Why is it different from when I first released it 2 years ago, which feels like a billion years ago? Yay, Kat! We were totally in sync, right? Totally thinking of each other. And so now that I look back, everything that I shared in my Deliberate Doodles workshop, I still cling on to, because it was more than just, hey, this is how I doodle and make my drawings, and you can check them out in my shop. And I haven't been doing it for a while, even though there's a few new inspired word deliberate doodles that I have drawn that I just haven't released in my shop because I've been focusing on my paintings. It was more than just here's how to make a drawing, here's how I make my drawings, because that was boring, and to be honest, it doesn't really serve you. You're better off just buying a print or commissioning me. I'm available for commissions. If you have inspired words, you would like me to create a deliberate doodle for you to gift to people or to gift to yourself. You know, mantras, words matter, because for all my painting and all my love of abstraction, words was my other love, because I know that sometimes all you need is the right phrase, the right words, the art of putting the right words and the right person that says it with the right energy can really boost you and give you the inspiration, the motivation, the courage to show up, to step forward. No matter how small that baby step is, it might still feel humongous. And I totally get that. And I remember that feeling when I was procrastinating and avoiding my creativity and doing the art that I knew was going to rejuvenate me, but because I had other things to do that was, more worthy of my time. I was a new mom. There was laundry. I had to feed my baby. There was breastfeeding. I was tired. You should be sleeping when your baby is sleeping. You should be looking after yourself. You should, all the shoulds and the have tos and the stuff that, hey, those reasons may totally still be valid and totally still need to be done and totally cannot be like ignored. And yet, bye, Kat. But there's still a part of you that still feels like something is missing, and that connection to yourself is what's missing. That connection to the yourself that keeps bugging you, like that little voice that goes, hey, I would like to play a bit more. Hey, I want to use my creativity for something that's fun just for myself. I want to have a hobby that isn't sitting in front of the TV. I want to feel like I'm doing something in my downtime that still feels meditative and reconnects me and rejuvenates me internally, emotionally, mentally, to my soul and to my spirituality, without bludging around, and still feel purposeful and still feel like it's just for me. And so that's where the Deliberate Doodles came from. And I remember that time of being a new mum and feeling really lost and like I couldn't find my identity. And it happened again when I had my second baby. And instead of waiting for more time, because hey, it just, when your parenthood is, shout out to all the parents, there is never any perfect time. There's never enough time. There is never the perfect moment. There's never the, of course it could be better, and if you've tried harder and all the reasons why, there's only just now. And my Deliberate Doodles process was meant and created for busy people like myself with my 2 kids and being primary carer and school drop-offs and lunchbox and all those kind of things, to still allow you every day 5 to 10 minutes of your time, if you have enough time to watch TV, you can totally do this in front of the TV, is to get a pen and paper. And I did pen and paper because paints, as much it is so much fun to play with paints, and I could totally do a workshop on that, and definitely hit me up if you're like, I would like lessons on painting, Brenda. But a pen and paper meant there's no excuses about, I don't have the right tools, I don't have the studio space, what kind of paints should I buy, I don't know what colors to choose. What you doing, black and white? I'm giving you really simple rules like a pen and a paper. We even use post-it notes so that there is even less pressure about perfection that comes in, because I know that we all struggle with that. We start on Monday. If you want something to reconnect back to your creativity, to find words with me of that has meaning for you, to really have a mindfulness practice, because a lot of the time the creativity part and making a piece of artwork is more than just making that one piece of artwork. I want to give you a practice that you can then use over and over for life, to reconnect back to yourself, to really step back into mindfulness, to really step into that meditative space where really you're connecting back not just to yourself, but to your spirituality, to your heart, to your mind, to your soul, as well as to be physically present, because a lot of time our minds are just going crazy with all the things that we have to do. To give you a practice to do that really simply with a pen and paper. And that's why I'm showing up here in my car. I hope that this imperfect environment gives you permission to realize that it's okay, because in my spaces, I don't allow perfect people to come in. And we just find your way. And I'll be sharing, there was incredible doodles that people have done, and that's why I was really purposeful about naming it doodles, because I have been told you should come up with a more like professional name, but I'm like, no, that's the whole point. But it's deliberate. We're not just doing play things and then we're going to throw it away. There's that element of it, so that there's that playful part, so there's no pressure, but at the same time there's a lot of purpose, because we're busy people. We don't want to be wasting our time. There is a certain sense of purpose, because those connections to the inspired words that hold meaning for you means that you will end up with artwork that will have deeper meaning, that will serve as an anchor in your space to remind you of your intentions, of your dreams, of your values, of the things that will help you bring you out of those dark nights of the souls. You know, sometimes it is the simplest things that can really break that spiral of negative thinking. Sometimes it's just that one word, almost an everyday word of encouragement that said at the right time by the right person, even if it's just to yourself, and you've been able to break that, to really bring a really shitty day to a day that feels like, hey, you know what, I can keep going. And I want to be able to give you that practice, and it's just a simple pen and paper. I will add in the comments below, definitely comment below, #deliberate doodles. And I will give you the link and stuff to get the free PDF. There's a resource guide that I've redesigned that for the 5 tools that you're going to need, because you need these 5 tools to start your deliberate doodles practice. Don't worry, you already have pretty much all of them in your house already, for sure. And get that ready, because we're going to start on Monday. Stop waiting, stop delaying, stop going, I will get to it later, because you know you won't. Don't ignore those little sparks of curiosity. Don't delay that little inspired hit to do something fun, to do something simple, to do something that could be a bit of play for yourself, but also knowing that that play will have a purpose to give you a mindfulness practice, to be able to draw meaning and that mindfulness into your life with just a pen and paper. So I guess my message today is definitely stop what you need to do. If you needed a sign, this is it. Stop waiting. You know what it is that you need to do. It doesn't have to be a big step. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to be a step forward, so you can really get that flow going, to get that momentum going. But that can't begin unless you take that first step. And that first step for you today might be to call that person. It might be to write that note. It might be to finally buy that thing, book that ticket, whatever it is. Or it might be just to sign up, get that PDF, that free PDF, join the free Facebook group, the pop-up group for the challenge that we start on Monday, and then get excited, because we're going to be talking about words that have meaning. We're going to be doodling. We're going to get back in touch with our pen and our paper, and that simple lines that look like, you know, nothing really, can hold so much meaning for you, because it means more than just the pen and the line on the paper. It is about reconnecting back to your heart, to your intention, to being deliberate and mindful of where you are going, what you want to do, what your intentions are, and what is your next chapter that is calling into your life. Get me? I hope that this has been inspired. I hope that you will do something with this. I hope that you will find this as the word of encouragement at the right time to pull you out of whatever mediocrity or mundane or meh feeling this weekend, and that you will sign up, but that you will find a little spark into your step, that you will now be more mindful as you go off into the world. Think about the words that hold meaning for you and what they truly mean, and there was actual letters, and we're going to be playing with them on Monday. And check out the link below. I will be dropping the free group that you can just click on and just join, and then the whole challenge will be held in there. And I will see you guys soon. Let me know what it is that you're going to do next. I'm always loving when you guys comment and let me know what it is that you're going to apply, what insights you got, even if it was just, Brenda, I love your energy, but what is it that you're going to do next? Because we are more than just dreamers, we're also doers, we're muses, and muses go out there from our inspired spaces and do the thing that's going to inspire the world. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.